All right, my friends, how are you today? Aaron here bringing you your daily horoscope for Thursday, the 9th of September 2021. We've got the moon moving through the later degrees of Libra. And it's going to be creating, we're coming from this conjunction of Mercury. We're in between Mercury and Venus. Venus home here in Libra. And as our day progresses, the moon in Libra is about balance. The moon in Libra is about patience. It's the cardinal air sign, which deals with intelligence. It deals with communication. It deals with other people, those individuals that we love. And we look at Libra in the 7th house is about partnerships. This is the people that are closest to us, not just romance, not just work associates, but people that we care very much about, that we're creating. We're creating energy of some kind of a way. There's work to be done between these individuals and how we interact with. These are our closest friends, our closest family members. These are our closest relationships and partners in our lives. And this is honoring our closest relationships and communication. And again, something we talked about, yesterday is sometimes those communications come with harsh or unfiltered truths. Black moon Lilith conjunct the North Node, creating a septile biseptile there, S2 over here to the Sun. Focused information here in the analytical, precise sign of Virgo. What is right and what is wrong? The only way we can determine what is right or what is wrong is if we lay out everything on the table. We have to lay out all the pieces of the puzzle and determine what piece goes where. We can lay out all the pieces and speculate where all the pieces of the puzzle goes or what fits in this space. But until we do the work, we just don't know. Something like this, talking about, I talk about the astrotheology stuff here, which is very controversial to some people. That's one thing. Another thing that's very potent that's going on right now. Here, let me show you this before I get into this conversation. So not only is the Sun creating that biseptile here to the North Node and to Black Moon Lilith, but Black Moon Lilith and the North Node in Gemini also creating that biseptile over here to Jupiter in the sign of Aquarius. Okay, 24 degrees. Now we have the moon in Libra at 24 degrees creating a trine to Jupiter. The moon in 24 degrees creating a square to Pluto in Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, Pluto, change in government, change in big business, change in how we discipline ourselves, change in how we perceive ourselves as the authority. Who is the authority over me? All right, this septile here to the North Node, this is about community. This is about blasting, exposing, amplifying, putting the information under the magnifying glass, if you will. That's what Jupiter's job is. So this is about information. This Black Moon Lilith here is just like, look, I'm sharing this with you of whether, whatever. It's not up to me to determine how you believe something. It's not up to me to determine how you view something or perceive these words. It's only important that I communicate these words and communicate with the masses, with the authority, communicating stuff that we have done research on for ourselves, that we can honestly communicate with them. You see how this is all playing into one another? The starting of the opposition of Neptune to the Sun here. What is this trying to tell us? This is Neptune's the black hole. This is about belief in Pisces, and all of this energy in Virgo is saying, one, Mars, I'm doing the work. I'm going to figure out and determine for myself what is real. What is it? What is this stinking vermiculum? What is this? I can't think of it now. This horse deworm thing that's coming out. It's all this interesting stuff, and it's like we're talking, it doesn't have to be about astrotheology. We're talking about the vaccine. We're talking about the virus. We're talking about cures. What is this stupid word? You guys know what I'm talking about, right? The horse dewormer thing that in 2015 won the Nobel Prize. This has been proven on some places to help with COVID. On others, people are getting sick because they're taking the non-human version. They're taking the animal version of the drug, and it's getting them sick. The only way to roll out a vaccine is if there's not a cure, if there's not a diagnosable cure for a disease, for a virus, is the only way that we can push a vaccine. So if there's a cure for something, then we can't push a vaccine because there's an alternative route. You know what I mean? So this is some things that are coming up right now. These are very real issues, very real questions going on in the world. You know, did Fauci create this virus? Was there human hands that created this virus? If so, how are we the authority? You know, you can be pulled over for speeding 5 over or having a faulty turn signal. You know, we can get pulled over for all stupid stuff. You can get a citation and it costs you $250 when all you needed was to be reminded, hey, you got to get your taillight fixed. You know, it's just like, this is insane. And they're charging, you know, all kinds of money. And yet we have somebody that's potentially killed thousands of people, millions of people by a virus that was leaked out, and they're running a country, helping run a country in the United States. Now, don't take what I'm saying right now as facts or the ultimate truth. That's not the point of why I'm saying this. These are all speculations. These are all things that are being buzzed and talked about right now. We have a lot of this Pisces and Neptune energy saying, like, we don't truly know what to believe. We don't know what is the truth. And until we do the work ourselves in uncovering these truths, we're simply not going to know. And it's up to us to seek those truths out. This is Mars and the Sun in the sign of Virgo. Mars opposing, you know, Neptune, saying don't just get sucked into the news, man. You know, the Neptune and Pisces is media. Don't get sucked into the media because they have an agenda and they're getting paid. You know, and it's something that's very interesting. It's like, who's not getting paid to share information? Those are the people that potentially have a lot more honesty to share. Potentially. I can get in trouble by saying some of this. As well, just like I was saying a moment ago, we have the moon here creating a septile over to Saturn. At the same time, it's squaring Pluto. You know, like we're talking a moment ago. Why can you be arrested for a parking ticket? Why can you get in so much trouble over these civil infractions, these small misdemeanors, or these almost like fugazi crimes? You know, it's just like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize my taillights were out. Thank you for this ticket. Now instead of you being the civil servant and just letting me know that I need to get something fixed, thank you for making sure I'm reprimanded as well. Authority, Saturn authority, change Pluto and Capricorn. Okay, so now if this Fauci's virus is what we're experiencing, how is this person not arrested? How is this person not in prison? And where is our personal authority to place them under citizen's arrest? Have we forgotten that we have that kind of authority? Have we forgotten and we just think, you know, it's just like the police work for people. The police are paid for by our taxes. And I think we forget some of this stuff. And this is like the Saturn in the community sign of Aquarius, Pluto in the sign of government, and which deals with these authorities. These energies want us to remind ourselves that we are the authority, that we have the power and authority to place a cop under arrest if need be. Now, I'm sure there's all kinds of laws in there that I'd do your own research. And I think that's part of this too here, is like, do your own research, figure it out for yourselves, you know, and there are some people that are going to take that on to the next. You know, some people will. We all have our role to play in a certain sense. We all have our thing to do, which we figure out what our relationship is with the other. If the other is infringing on us, if the other is assuming authority over us, if the other is impacting us, what are the choices and decisions that we do about it? What information do we need to look up to discern on how to create the next steps? And ultimately remembering that we are authority, that the community has more of a say, as the community is the government. And there is no separation. They, the government. We, the government. This is something that we need to embody, to embrace, to remember, and to fight for if we need to utilize. It's like when we look at government, it's like the government has no problems pushing their authority. I got a notice, I'll tell you this, I was so sad. I got a notice a couple weeks ago that they're going to redo like the pipe by my house. some of the water. And they marked one of my favorite trees on my property. And they just came and cut it down. And then they left this tree for 2 weeks just sitting on my property. And it's like, can I just go? Like, you didn't own that tree. The government didn't own that tree. They have no problem pushing their authority. The government at this point being, the city that I live in. They didn't ask my permission to cut the tree down. That's something I love about Costa Rica. It's like nobody owns the trees. You can't just cut this tree down. You can cut the roots if you need be, out of your pipe, but you just can't come on my property and cut my tree down. Can I do the same thing for them, to them? And can I leave this sitting there for 2 weeks? Like, what is that, Anyway, so it's like certain people have no problem pushing their authority. And this is the time, and especially over the next couple of years, as Pluto is going to enter the sign of Aquarius, where we have to remember that we have that same authority as well. And that we can demand the pendulum swing equally. And it can't tip in favor to the one, And this is this great balance that's going on right now. This is pretty much our day, and then like when the moon here connects with Venus, this is kind of a little bit later. It's at 1 a.m. But ultimately, it's just like that in which we love, that in which we desire these people. Mercury here to the south node. Releasing information that doesn't serve us yet again. This is that same thing we were just talking about a moment ago. Maybe we're forgetting that we have the power to place citizens arrest. Maybe we forget that we have the power as individuals, that we are the government body. Maybe we forget that the police work for us, not against us or over us. Maybe we forget these things, and maybe we need these gentle reminders. So Mercury septile to the south node is like letting go, again, this information that no longer serves. Black Moon Lilith saying like, oh, I'm just gonna, be simple and small and just obey your thing because you say it. Black Moon Lilith conjunct the North Node is saying absolutely not. I'm not gonna grovel for you just because you think I should, And we can take that in any way we want. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say how high when you say jump just because you said it, And if you give me a reason, then well, maybe we can figure that out. But this is a big power struggle, and who's right, who's wrong, who has authority over us, who can tell us what to do, who can't. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, my friends, and the choice is yours, and how we choose to move about this, what we choose to believe, what we choose to think is factual, what we choose to think is fictional, our emotional attachments to them, and ultimately Venus here being in the sign of Libra, coming back to a care, appreciation for the people in our community, for the people that we love the most. So whichever way all this works out for you, my friends, I hope you have a beautiful day. I love you. I wish you enough, and I'll see you tomorrow.